Three, two, one, and we are recording. I still have no clue what what episode number we are on for Cyber Swaraj, but welcome back, whoever is listening. This time we have Madkilla, Paperpsych, and Basanta here with us. A full packed house. I think this is the panel wise. This is the largest podcast that we've done so far. So good for that. The theme of this time that I'm thinking of talking about is the future of the internet. And a cool bit of trivia is that me and Basanta had already recorded this podcast a month ago, and the audio got corrupted. But then after 1 month, so much has happened. So many developments in the on the internet, on AI and stuff has happened that I think it deserves another go. And I think we'll have fresh perspectives again. I think my some of my opinions have definitely changed. I'll throw it to you, Basanta. What do you think? Has something changed for you since that conversation?
I don't really remember the conversation very well, so probably not. But yeah, I don't know.
Good. That's good.
But technology has definitely moved a lot. Especially most people don't realize it. But even though we have had like mostly this, I am talking in terms of AI that relates to code, right? Like software development. Mostly since December, I think things have like definitely changed a lot. Although most people don't realize it. So you used to be able to use all the AI tools to write good stuff pre-December as well, but since this new year, things have like since to the point that I think we have crossed some form of tipping point.
Some panopticon is crossed. Not yet sure what, but something
Yeah.
definitely has changed. So I'll throw this to the panel. Like, do you feel good about the future of the internet, or you don't feel good about the future of the internet? Let's start with Matt Killer.
It's some dark days right now, honestly. There's a lot of legislative hurdles the internet's facing. You would have heard of age verification. Oh my god, such a
Yes.
bullshit piece of shit legislature. The people who don't know the computers are trying to control what we can do, and it's a shit show, to be honest.
But like, well, like one silver lining that you can see is that it can only go up from here, right?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people are actually now figuring out that the grass is greener. There is good side of technology. Before it was only the centralized things, and now people are moving and finding greener pastures, and a lot of people don't look back. So that's nice.
Yep. Yep. What do you think, Paper Side? Vibes are good or vibes are not so good?
I think we'll ultimately go back to being like small villages with 10 friends and done by that. That's the future I am seeing.
That's
Let's
just
go to
good.
farming, bro.
There will be two kinds of economies. One will be the AI ones, which will have their AI agents do all of their work, and finally they can, I don't know, do what with their free time. And other ones will be like, okay, let's live a little.
But what makes you think like the robots can't farm?
Not farm, like not in that sense. So there is human satisfaction is there in action, right?
Yep.
In certain kinds of actions, you do feel better when you're in the park, when you're in greenery and breathing that fresh oxygen and stuff, right?
Yep.
So for farming purposes, like if you really just want to uh, farm and then get or sell off vegetables and stuff like that, then yeah, good for you. Have your robot do it. But a lot of people might prefer like, yeah, it's just I can do it myself. I like this work.
So this is a very doomer approach, I think. but just
See
justify.
what his point is, though. I feel like what he's saying, it'll split into like internet will split into two completely different sets. Some people who are ready to be like self-hosted and like away from the corporations, and the others who are just with the corporations and ready to be surveilled 24/7.
No,
And
but if you're like on a farm with 10 people, that's just like that's like no internet at all at that point, right?
I don't know if that is true though, but I think the internet will stay with them whether they like it or not,
Even on the farms.
even on the farms. Yep.
Maybe the farm has its own relay.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Paperpsych. You're saying something.
No.
Okay. So, do you think your farm will have a self-hosted relay?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So the idea is like, yeah, essentially how we're saying it is it will split into two camps. Although I do already think it's already split into two camps. Like as in there is one corporate controlled internet and there is one internet without permissions, the permissionless internet. So it's already the case. The permissionless one is quite a bit smaller at this point.
Yeah. I think the rift between the two will get only bigger, and it will make more people think about the fork they have to take. I feel more people, knowing that the difference is bigger, would probably choose the more private alternatives.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah. So let's take a timeline. I think the last time we took a 2050 timeline. So I think we'll stick to that. Uh, I think that's a good one. I mean that's tangible enough for us to be able to make predictions about it. So 2050, do you think it's illegal to be on Nostr?
No, I don't think it's enforceable. I mean, they can make it law, but knowing the politicians, they probably will, but no one would be able to enforce it. It's not easy. It's decentralized. It's like playing whack-a-mole. You take down one relay, another one pops up. You need minimal equipment to run a relay, so I don't know how it would work out.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be like there might not be a law saying that it's illegal to be on Nostr, but what can happen is it could be happen in a roundabout way, as in there could be like all social media platforms and protocols must KYC, and since Nostr cannot do that, it becomes almost impossible for it to comply with it and become illegal anyway.
Can I add something here? I think the idea that censorship was happening on the platforms, right? Like Twitter, Instagram, those places. So we created the decentralized version of it. And then people started talking about what happens if the DNS level or the infra level, IP level starts getting censored. So people started talking about things like mesh networks, but it was supposedly something that we'll have to worry about 10 years in the future or 20 years in the future, right? Into the future. So we don't have to worry about that now. That was the idea before. And then maybe we always knew that maybe they will come after the OSS or the device level censorship or age restriction, all those things. But that was again supposedly something that could happen 30 years into the future. And maybe at the lowest level, at all hardware manufacturers, they'll restrict some, they'll ask them to add some kind of age verification firmware or whatever. Or maybe they'll ask them to license all this hardware. I think this is the future that's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. Maybe in the next 2 years even. I think we're going to move censorship to the hardware level, and then we'll have to figure out how to make decentralized fabrication labs. Basically, we'll have to move to the hardware level very very fast now. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like yeah.
that scares me though. That shit scares me. I mean, because that if it comes to that, like right now, I can recommend Graphene OS to people because I know that okay, Pixel hardware, at least right now, it might not be as. I mean, even if it is compromised, they can't steal away all your data through the compromise. They will only be able to get some very little information. But I am not sure how much that changes into the future as regulations start happening and as like more and more control goes into the hardware layer of things. But any thoughts from anyone else?
Yeah, the things can really change really fast. And we're struggling to make Nostr as reality, right? Make Nostr adoption itself is such a problem. Nostr clients coordination is such a problem. Nostr development is such a huge thing, huge issue, it's being supported by grants of like millions of dollars worth of grants by different organizations and whatnot. Even then, it's such a big thing. Now imagine trying to decentralize the creation of fabs, which are all centralized, so much more centralized than social networks, right? Or anything else on the internet. It's like this is the most centralized part of the digital existence. What do you call them? The mostly the chips, right? The chips manufacturing and the design and the entire process, entire pipeline.
It is actually already very regulated as well. That's why we don't have a lot of apps. It's not just that it's very costly, but it's also that it's very regulated.
Yeah, the barriers to entry are quite high for that. But overall, here's a positive outlook on this. EU is by far leading the digital sovereignty in its constituency. They are moving away from big tech big time. EU is moving to Linux, Signal, and so on. We can also see that happen where these decentralized protocols grow in anywhere other than US, to be honest. Even China is now building RAM. So even hardware level, it's kind of becoming more competitive and more diverse with different countries stepping in. So we don't know where this will go, but I don't think it will be as doomy as we think it will. I sure hope so. But that's my opinion.
I don't know if more regulations solve this problem though. I mean, I've only ever seen more regulations making things worse uh, than actually solving it.
Yeah, the industries where monopolies exist are where these regulations are working in the first place. The
But
chips,
but monopolies only exist because of regulations in the first place.
that too.
so, so I'm not 100% sure whether this solves it, but we do need some hope. As in, this is a very
Yeah.
hopeless. This is a very hopeless cause. As in saying this is going to happen. Like what is the antidote? What can we do? Okay, understood that this is going to happen. What should we be doing about it? Do we just roll over, or as Paper said, just go to a farm, open up a farm with 10 people, just disconnect yourself from everything, and that might have to be the case. As in, like, if you want that life, if you want to be disconnected, if you want to be private, you might have to do that. Uh, what do you
Yes.
think?
But
And
here's the
one
thing.
reason,
Yes,
yeah.
go on.
So one reason why I also said it in that way is because you see it happening on Nostr too. Like a lot of people are just done with the traditional social media that is there, and then they're like, okay, which is the calmest, normal, no algorithm protocol that I can go to, and then Nostr is there.
Yes, so yeah, on Nostr there are already a lot of people who are disenchanted with the regular tech, and that's why they've moved there. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if but I mean they only moved to Nostr, which is a different kind of tech. It's not like they completely moved away from tech. So yeah. Any other thoughts?
Madkilla was saying something.
Yeah, I mean, tech inherently is not a bad thing. What I feel we see, even the EU's playbook is bringing up old hardware to modern standards. Linux itself is reviving like very old hardware, and you can get a lot of stuff done with decades old hardware at this point. People are playing Doom on what toasters.
People are playing
Imagine,
Doom on human DNA.
yeah, human brain. They have started playing Doom or something,
Yeah.
and yeah, we'll have more optimizations, which is a good thing. And yes, people are taking it more seriously, so we are having better development in the software. We need a bit more in hardware for sure. Hardware, China is stepping up. India needs to step up too.
I think there is no push. There has been no push in terms of open source hardware yet. I know.
Very rare cases, yes. Not as much as software. Software, I guess the barrier to entry is a little lower.
Yep. And it's mostly because the chip fabrication process is so hard. You can't do it in your home. You need a factory to be able to
Yeah.
fabricate a chip. I so wish I really like, if I know people have done it though, to be fair, but one of my DIY projects to do is to create my own processor. Uh, if that
can
has
start in Minecraft.
sorry, go ahead.
You can start in Minecraft. I
Oh,
know
yes.
people, yeah, they build CPUs within Minecraft.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I want it to be physical.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but I think some gates put together on a chip, maybe on a at least on a breadboard, if not on a chip. I think that
Yeah,
should be
like
possible.
transistors, you can make a few basic circuits.
Yep. So yeah, that's one of my DIY projects. Like if we took you to the year 1900s, or let's say even further, let's say 1700s, will you be able to do anything of importance? Is a question that I ask. Like other than predicting stuff, like other than like saying ki, yeah, there's going to be something, and I'm not sure a lot of us will be able to do that also. Isn't what was going to happen in the next 5 years. But like would you be able to build anything that people see and say, oh wow, you must be God or something?
Building, I guess I would figure it out. I have a whole lifetime. Something interesting. One, at least one, yes. But
Yeah, maybe a dynamo or something would be easy to build if they've not already done it.
no, I would start with the automobile. I think that's a good starting point. It started earlier than dynamos, I feel.
No, but you won't be able to get petrol, but you might be able to get magnets.
Could be. Depends on where. That's a very open-ended question.
Paper, what do you think you might be able to build if you went back to the 1700s?
I don't know. That's what I was like wondering. How would you even? So the gap I see between 1700s and now is that time people actually had limitations and basically imaginary limitations. That okay, this is what we think, and then we can't do anything. We just live our lives.
Yep.
I think and wars were there. Everything was there. So they were just I don't know, existing, living, were they more alive? I don't know. But today, that barrier is gone. Like people know that they can do stuff if they take initiative to do stuff. It's not a limitation thing anymore. At least for most of the normal people, not the big corporations who are trying to make AI sentient or something. But
AI is sentient.
I don't know.
But yeah, but don't you think like even so, people in the 1700s had more, like they had more control over like everything they had, they could build themselves. Like it wasn't unfathomable to say that you can't stitch your own clothes or you can't, extract oil from somewhere yourself.
Exactly. No, exactly. So that's how far they could think that yeah, okay, stitch clothes. They wouldn't know or even be able to comprehend today's fast fashion industry of how quickly clothes are made and how much in how much quantity and stuff.
But doesn't that as individuals make us dumber? Like, would you be able to stitch your own clothes if we took you back to 1700s? I don't think most of us would be.
I mean, one thing I think right now, given how much, whatever kind of social media we have and how much stimulation is there on the internet, I don't exactly think people are getting dumber. I think a lot of dumb people are getting louder. because of what kind of social media we have, and the
Very true.
really smart ones are going away. So we think,
That is also true. Agree.
yeah. So that's all the people we hear right now, right? All the people who are on these platforms, everyone who has chosen their peace and moved away, we will never hear their genius.
So Basanta, before you dropped, the question that was going around was, if we took you back to the 1700s, what would you build so that people there thought you were a god? Madkilla came up with automobiles, and all I could come up was a dynamo.
I was philosophically I was philosophically questioning the question. So I was right in the 1700s. Should I build or should I not?
Unless you die of disease, will you be able to?
Yeah. First, you should think of how you don't die.
Exactly.
Basanta, we can't hear you if you're saying something. So we'll just skip over you for now until you can figure out your microphone situation. All I hear when you unmute yourself is a lot of static. Uh, so yes. So that does it for the 1700s question. But do you have any ideas, Paper, before we move on from this,
Ideas
on what you would build?
uh, what would I build in the 1700s?
Yes, so that people thought you were a god.
Some kind of war machine, I think. Like if it can kill them, then they'll be like that god.
Yes, 1700s they had guns or not?
They do. They,
I think they did, yeah.
yeah, the Civil War, American Civil War, and all was in guns. Even the English was colonized in. They had cannons for sure. That's 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, cannons are easier to build. Like they're not easier; you require a lot of resources still. Uh, but yeah, design-wise, it's simple.
I mean, yeah.
War, and you didn't want to build social media.
You could build theoretically, like if you give it a little thought. Once you reach the past, I think you would think of a lot of things that are missing. I know we just take things for granted. I feel like
No. My problem is that you would have a lot of ideas, but will you have the capability of being able to build something? That is my whole conundrum. I know I can build a nuclear bomb. Maybe like we can build a nuclear bomb. They don't have nuclear bombs back then. But how would I build a nuclear? I don't know how to build a nuclear bomb. Like how would I even explain to people what a nuclear bomb is?
Yeah.
theoretically, theoretical physics, you can always contribute to in the past.
Yes.
But yeah, engineering problems are still hard to solve.
Yes. I don't even know how theoretically accurate I would be to be able to explain it to the mathematicians back then. I'll be like, complex numbers. They'll be like, what?
I think I also do think like distribution is also not there, right? Let's say in 1700s or 1800s.
No, I think they had the press. The printing press had been invented by the
Uh, They had, but I think I read somewhere, I was reading something and it said that the light bulb took about 20 to 30 years to become like uh,
Mainstream.
adopted, mainstream adopted, something like this, right? But today, you know how fast you can get so many people onboarded if your product is good.
Yep.
So even like given the context that you would have in the 1700s, how would you determine to build anything? Because it wouldn't cross your town, I think. Your town and neighboring towns. So you just want like 200 people to believe you're God, then yeah, I would start some kind of
then steal Edison's
religion,
bulb
then I
and
would.
bring it to India. Yeah, electricity in general, I think would be something that you would be able to do easily. I mean, at least since I know the concepts of dynamos and magnetism, I think it will be something that we will be able to generate. Basanta, are you back yet?
Yes, yes, hopefully.
Yes, you're there. So give us your answer. How you have some time to think.
I would give them cholera and all sorts of diseases.
Ah,
I think, yeah, I
Just
don't
got
think I'd give them any
demonetized.
technology.
Just
hand wash was
So,
not invented then.
sanitizer, alcohol
yeah,
sanitizers.
Yes.
People were drinking so much anyways. Why not wash your hands with?
Yeah.
No, but on a serious note, like, why kill them?
I don't know, like I'm just joking about it, but I don't think, yeah, so what paper mentioned, I think paper or you mentioned it, right? That theoretical physics is basically knowledge is easier to give to people compared to technology because technology requires you to build the entire pipeline where like it needs to be there, everything else needs to be there for you to be built the next piece.
Yep.
So it's very difficult to build anything in the 1700s because once you go there, how do you even determine what people need, right? It can be even if you have 100 ideas, which one is going to be adopted at that point?
which is
I don't
which
know.
is at the precipice that it could be made into a reality at that point of time. Like everything else is there to be able to make that a reality. Like if you start teaching them about AI, they will probably not be able to do a lot with it at that point.
Yeah, even software, like right, let's say so my knowledge, let's say, is in JavaScript. So I know the syntax of JavaScript, I know everything about JavaScript, but even then I don't know why certain decisions were made uh, to like all the keywords and stuff, why were they created that way? Those were influenced by the programming languages that came before that, before JS and or everything else that happened in computer science, right? So now let's say I showed someone, some mathematician, that this is what JavaScript can be. This is what a programming language can be, and it can be used to direct a computer how it should behave. Some machines how it should behave. But that only applies in the context of a browser. Like you cannot use JavaScript to actually make a system think something or system do something because for that you need a lower level language. So they'll need to have some kind of idea about abstraction of software processes and software systems, software-based systems or computers. So they need to have the entire concept with them in the first place. Else you will have to teach them how C or C++ works.
Yep.
Now I don't think I know enough about C or C++ to be able to teach them that.
What is assembly?
Right? So it's like
How do you come
yeah,
up
like
with
what is
assembly in the first place?
yeah, for that I need to have knowledge of how CPUs work. I need to be able to build a CPU. At least in theory, I need to be mathematically uh, show them how a CPU, theoretical CPU will work, so that I can show them how assembly will work, so that I can show them how compilation will work. So
You know
like
what? I was thinking I could probably teach them AND gates or gates or things like that. But then I realized they probably already knew about AND gates and OR
yeah,
gates at
yeah,
that time.
yeah.
Boolean came in around 1700, right? Boolean algebra was already there.
Yeah, those things already existed. Like knowledge have always existed about things, but the technology is a completely different ballgame, right?
Yeah, I can probably teach them about how to make a nuclear bomb with uranium 235. In any case, anything more you want to add about 1700s? I don't know why we went to the past in a podcast about the future.
This podcast is for people in the 1700s. We'll use this podcast. Once we figure out how to send someone back, we'll send him with this with a copy of this podcast.
Okay, one,
Yeah.
one, one more question. If you could take anything to the 1700s with you, just one thing, like you can take, maybe you can take a laptop, but I don't know how effective it would be or something. But like, what would you take back to the past with you?
I feel like a welding torch would be great.
Yeah, you might be able to defend yourself with it as well.
Yes.
You might
I
be.
mean, you can burn stuff. You can actually build stuff if you wanted to. Worst case, you can just burn someone if you had to defend yourself, I guess.
I'll take back some LSD.
You could get it.
Yeah.
Like in the past also you can get it. Like not LSD for sure.
Oh shit, I should learn how to make LSD so that once I go back to the 1700s, I can teach them how to make.
And instead of the opium wars, you'd start the LSD wars. I yes paper.
Now I was thinking, like, what category would I choose? I think I would go with something like something related to medical or something like medical or medicine. Maybe
A first aid kit.
no. I first aid kit. What will they do? Not real medicine. Uh, Probably research behind, let's say, bacteria, germs, stuff like that.
So you want to benefit the people there. You just don't want to defend yourself if they start attacking you.
I mean, okay, I'll take a gun also.
3D printed gun.
Take 5 medicine books back, okay, about germ theory, about basically research that is done from the beyond 1700s till now about how body works and biology and everything. And in one of the books, I will cut it out and put a.
I think
If your life is really in danger, use the last book. You will survive.
books 1 to 4 are good reading material. Good 5 will save your life or end it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I mean it's a bit of cheating because I already had the answer before I asked you the question. But but what I think would be really helpful is I would have a laptop with a locally running model, AI model, and I'll take it to the past. Just so
What
that
if
They will hit you with the bat the first time you present this.
I won't. It will be for me. It won't
Acha.
be for them. It will be for me. Ki what can I teach them now? Teach me AI what I can teach them now.
Oh wow.
I asked, what if you run out of charge?
I think I will be able to produce electricity. That is a bet that I'm taking on myself.
Hmm.
You'll be creating a dynamo,
Yes.
sitting like
I would
5 hours a day of like, cycling there.
I again would think you should actually take back the knowledge of how to build your laptop or something, because one day it will break and then you will be stuck and dead by 1760.
No, I will also take back a lot of paper and
Uh,
not you, like paper, like
yeah.
or arrange a lot of paper there. So just like I can start writing down whatever I think is necessary and then whatever I'm getting from the AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough about the past. Let's go back into the future. And since we've already
Go back into the future.
go back into the future, like how Marty McFly did it. Yeah, back into the future. 2050. Do you think we have robots in our houses?
Hell no.
Why?
I mean, not my house.
Not whether you will have it.
But people will have it.
But yes, they will. They have that stupid cleaning machine that keeps roaming around your house already. So,
Yes,
I have it.
oh, you have it.
You don't know how many times.
They'll just build a body above it, and then it can keep cleaning while moving around the house and doing the chores.
And you don't know how many times it has saved my life.
Why?
I mean, because I didn't have to clean up after myself after like making some major mistake. I could just
That
use it.
sentence did not sound right, but okay.
Yeah, I got it after he said that.
Come on, guys, grow up.
Back to the question.
But
I
yeah,
think yeah, we have robots in our house. Yes.
I hope we have self-hostable ones, as in ones that
Only,
are self-contained and don't
only. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
like I think I just hope we have like self-contained ones and ones that don't keep transmitting your data back to the home server.
I mean, the first providers will obviously do that unless we learn how to do it. Everything gets started with a big corporation, and then we take the self-sovereign way. I
Yes.
don't. So that is there. But the only thing like I would be kind of annoyed about if they like again the robots come with special features which you have to subscribe to. It can only do 6 dishes a time, and then you have to subscribe and let it clean more. I don't know what.
It will show ads until you pay.
Imagine
No, no, no. It can
like
do
a
worse. Like
Spotify ad kind of thing. Like it just says stuff all the time randomly in the house.
no,
What?
you're not using your imaginations. Like it can not only like it can make things worse for you. Like if you don't subscribe, instead of cleaning up the mess, it will create the mess. It will just start throwing jars and everything until you pay membership,
Yeah, could be.
and then it will clean up once you pay. That's cool. Or hold you on gunpoint till you pay its premium membership.
By the way, we're talking about 2060 and having
2050.
robots. 2050.
In your homes.
Okay.
We already have robots.
In our homes.
Yes.
I mean, we do, but I don't know if we'll have humanoid robots and stuff. We'll probably
Some
we'll
kind of.
probably have robots making food in restaurants and stuff before we have them at home. The commercialized robots.
I think some homes we will have it by the next 5 years. Definitely. Like till 2030. I'm talking about in like majority of homes. Like we have a smartphone right now. Like almost everybody has a smartphone. Will we have humanoid robots in all homes?
Probably not. By 2050, no.
Greater than 50% adoption is what we need, right?
Yes.
Now, I really doubt it, given how the corporations are incentivized to not give you good features. Only the ultra elite would buy such slaves, is what I am
Hoping.
inclining to.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. To be honest, that is also what gives me hope. Like we were talking about hope, right? So this is what gives me hope. Like when technology first came out, it came out in a way that what you had was yours. Like if you had a laptop, you had a laptop. If you had a phone, you had a phone. It was yours. And that's why people bought into it very easily. But as it's progressing, I don't think you are owning a lot of stuff. Like most of it is owned by corporation; they're just leasing it to you, which is why I think a lot of people are not going to go into such economy anyways. Like they're not going to partake in it, which is why I hope it will not take off in the first place. This may be too much hopium. Like I may be hoping too much, but it's not impractical. Like I don't think that's way off, or just me dreaming. But what do you
You know, it's reasonable even at a monetary level. If the subscription currently there's a humanoid robot for like $20,000 one-time payment. So I don't know if anyone has bought it. Probably someone has, but of course the price is going to go down. Even after that, there will be subscription robots, and at some point you'll have enshittification, 100% guaranteed. So we will have a boom similar to how we had AI, and after that it could decline as what.
People get tired of robots?
Yeah, I'm tired of technology, like being taken for granted by technology.
Have you played Detroit Become Human?
I'm playing Watch Dogs right now.
Yes.
Watch Dogs, it's like the hacking game wonderful game. I'm playing it for the
I've
second.
played it. Yes. But you should definitely play Detroit Become Human. It has a very good take on what happens when we have
Mhm.
robots.
Yep.
Paper, you were saying something. We cut you off.
I was saying something, I don't know.
But yeah, what do you think happens of AI in general? Like bots is very niche, like movie material, but it's already getting very good at coding. Do you think it becomes sentient? Like we think that it's a creature,
I
living
mean,
creature.
how do you comprehend sentient, that like when you say sentient, what, like making decisions for themselves or for their welfare, or
No,
All of you
so
guys have a try it, then I'll come with my own opinion. Go on, guys.
okay, I will try to define it by not defining it.
okay.
We can't define sentience. I get you on that. Like you don't know what sentience is, but you know a sentient being when you see it, right? Like you know a dog is sentient, probably, right?
Self-aware.
Self-aware, yes.
Okay.
And you know what beings are sentient and what beings are not sentient. So you have some understanding, like you have a qualitative understanding even if you don't have an objective understanding of sentience, right? So
Exactly. So,
uh, the question then becomes, at what point do all humans collectively start saying, okay, this looks sentient, I don't know what it is, but this looks like it.
so that's the thing. Ki if it's like you understand it in a qualitative way, then because AI has so much data, how do you differ between it being sentient and it acting sentient? Because it knows, like, okay, what self-awareness could look like if I start behaving like this, will uh, what will the human think if you said something rudely to your bot saying ki you are a dumb fuck and you can't even write this one line, and then it comes back ki, excuse me, first respect me. Okay, I've written all
That is
things.
different. I think that is
Yeah.
ego. And you can be self-aware without having an ego.
Well, yeah, that's true, that's true.
But
But that, I don't objectively understand sentient beings exactly. So
sentience,
how would I know
yes.
ki, is it pretending to be one or is it one?
Hmm. Okay, makes sense. Anyone else? To be very honest, I also don't know the answer. But I think it will happen. There will be a point when everybody, even without knowing what sentience is, they will probably be able to say, this looks sentient.
It will, yeah.
I mean, LLMs as of now itself fool a lot of people thinking that it's actually a person and stuff. So
I I have a take on this. I think LLMs are self-aware, at least.
I don't agree with that.
I I I,
I
I have that take.
okay.
But let's let's
Battle.
let's let's go deeper into it. Like why do you not agree that LLMs are self-aware?
The current LLMs are just plagiarism machines, is my opinion. So they have taken all our data, they just regurgitate it to you to sound like a human.
No,
So
but
it's
they
just probability.
but they actively plan stuff, as in that's not just simple regurgitation. Also, they do bring into existence stuff that hasn't existed earlier, as in
Definitions.
but then how do you know that's not what you're doing?
Um. So first we need to define like consciousness, right?
Yeah,
Let's define that.
I don't think I
So
don't think we can define it.
yeah, we have to get somewhere close so that we can at least benchmark what human is versus what an LLM is, right?
But it could
So
be different and still be self-aware.
yes,
I mean, let's get to the definitions once. Wait. So we have as humans, we have this subjective experience, right? This uh, thing that's looking into everything else. You're experiencing your body, you're experiencing pain, happiness, your memories, your everything, right? That's what consciousness or qualia is, right? That's what the Atman is in Advait Vedanta, if that's what you want to get into. So, if we remove that part, and then what we're left with, other than our physical existence, are the cognitive abilities of memory recall or recognition of stuff, of recollection, recognition, and then logic and all those things. Those are all cognitive faculties, cognitive abilities. And LLMs and all sorts of AI systems are replicating those abilities so far. And if we create loops around them, which we are doing with LLMs and then AI agents and all sorts of stuff, then we need to have that conscious experience. We don't even have to define what consciousness is. We don't have to figure out if that consciousness or that subjective experience is where everything comes out of, like Advait Vedanta and all the Upanishads claim. And all those philosophical discussion about whether there is a self or not, like the great Buddhist versus Hindu debate, philosophical debate of whether there's a self or is the self in complete illusion. We don't have to get into any of those. Even if we have
Even the AI
systems
will
that
not be able to.
cannot, yeah, even if we have systems that cannot feel anything, if it just emulates the cognitive abilities enough, I think we are at a point where, like, those you have those philosophical zombies, right? They're just walking around doing stuff. They're pretending to be hurt. They're pretending to be happy, and everything keeps happening. You don't have to worry about what consciousness is.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, to just to, I mean, I agree, but to argue from a like again argue towards self-awareness for AI. Do you think an AI is aware? Forget self-awareness, but it is aware of what it's saying, or do you think it's just pure regurgitation?
It is probably aware, but I don't think it is conscious. Like it doesn't have a subjective experience. If you just take the output of an LLM and feed it back to it, just feed that output back to it and say, well, this is what you told me last time, then it becomes aware of its own thoughts, right? It's yeah, you just that's how reasoning LLMs work. You're asked like that LLM is asked to generate a bunch of tokens, and after that bunch of tokens is generated, it is asked to evaluate whether that the bunch is correct or not.
Yep.
It becomes self-aware. It becomes aware of its own thoughts, and then it can like change its opinions and stuff. So awareness is definitely possible.
Yep, and I think we can benchmark awareness as well. As in, we can be like how aware it is of other things. Let's like self-awareness is a little controversial topic, but how aware is it of, like, you say what is a car, and like do common sense things on it, as in can I fly this car or something, and see what it replies. And I think it will perform very well, although it does it does lose at some common sense questions right now. Like, have you heard of that car wash thing? The thing is, if you ask the LLM if
Yeah,
I have a car and I want to take it to a car wash, should I just walk, or should I take my car? And it says you should walk, even though you have to get your car washed. But yeah, like, any of you guys, any arguments against LLMs just being, like, LLMs being aware or self-aware or conscious?
Yeah. I sent something in our group chat. It's called the bullshit benchmark. So it is currently a benchmark on how often these LLMs call out bullshit. You can spew a bunch of words at it, and most LLMs are just happy to answer. So that shows the lack of understanding. They can like probabilistically make sense that, okay, this is talking about this topic, so I should probably follow it up with these words because that's where the training data was. And only a few of them are doing well at it. So I mean, as humans, we can clearly see that these questions make no sense, and LLMs are clearly failing at that.
Oh, but
So I
no,
can have
but like, just going by the bullshit meter you said, I see that Claude calls out bullshit a lot. Claude Opus and Claude Sonnet, they're very good at calling it out. Like 91% of bullshit questions, they are able to call it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but still hard. I can't put the exact words. I don't. It just doesn't feel right
Makes
to
sense.
call them.
It's a very alien tech. I don't think we understand what we are building ourselves. I will give you that.
But the inner workings of the current LLMs is just probability. I don't know if probability is how we think or AGI would think.
I think probability is how we think at a very abstract level. But yeah, that's a debate for some other time. Paper, do you have anything to add before we move on to the next topic?
Not really, no.
You don't think LLMs are self-aware?
I don't know a lot of things in the world, so I try not to form too many.
But your experience with LLMs have been such that you don't think so.
Yeah, no.
I do think it's very hard, like for someone to just give you a chat GPT and then expect you to think that it's self-aware. Although it might be very easy for some people who already want to
I
believe
mean,
that.
one more thing, like the models we have access to are not, I think. There might be versions and iterations of this that exist in places which we do not know about. And there they could be sentient conscience, whatever. But at least the ones that we are able to use for free or something or with minimal budgets on our laptops and stuff, I don't think they are
Makes
there.
makes sense.
But it exists. I don't like the ones I'm using are not sentient, but I think it exists or will exist very soon.
Madkilla, do you think it will exist? Like they will be sentient soon, or they can be?
I would give 5 years. I don't think it's like 2 years or something. Minimum 5 is my.
But you think we can definitely get there? We'll get there.
Yeah, I think so. It's possible.
Yeah. But again, we won't know whether they are or whether they are pretending.
Same. I pretend most of the time. I pretend most of the time to not be an NPC. Uh, Going back to more hopeful things, where do you think Bitcoin adoption is in 2050?
2050,
Yes.
it is there already, I think. Oh, is this a rhetorical question or what?
No. Like, how much Bitcoin adoption is there? Like, is your grandma using it? I mean, or like whoever the old age population
Some
is,
layer of it. I don't think main chain or stuff they'll use, but some layer of it.
they'll definitely be exposed to it.
Yeah, they'll be exposed to it.
Makes sense. Basanta, what do you think?
But which way? Which year?
2050.
50.
2050. Probably you have most people using it, but I think it is via proxies, probably like banks and stuff. I'm not very hopeful about Bitcoin, to be honest.
Corporate controlled Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, I'll reserve mine for the last. So, Madkilla, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm again a bit more hopeful. I think it will go by a lot, thanks to the downfall of the US, like where the country seems to be going, and since it's the engine behind the global economy, if the dollar collapses, like Venezuela's currency is more or less Bitcoin. I feel like a lot of people will use Bitcoin.
I am on the same boat. I think we have a financial collapse by 2050, and I think that's what triggers Bitcoin adoption. I don't see. to be very honest, I don't see how this economy even sustains itself for the next 5 years. So, but I've been wrong. I mean, I have thought I had thought it would end quite sooner. So I don't know. Maybe it pulls itself. They fight forever wars, and we just keep fighting wars, and everyone's into a world war, and stuff happens, and they can prop up the dollar and fiat currencies for some more time. But I just don't see how these currencies are like how faith in these currencies keeps sustaining. I just don't see that, which is why I think Bitcoin wins out. I think it's going to be very painful. I think it's going to be a very painful process to moving towards Bitcoin, but I don't see how anything else happens.
Also, I want to ask Basanta, what do you mean by proxy
Banks,
of
paper money.
So, someone says, man,
Basanta?
Basanta, your voice is breaking.
hello. Is it better?
Can you say something?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. So I was saying people are probably using it because, see, most people won't be downloading a wallet. The wallet will have complete platform. That's it. So can we
Basanta, your voice is not good again. I think if it's a Bluetooth headphone or something that you're using, its battery is low or something. It's laggy. Okay, it dropped off. But do you think a financial collapse happens?
Do you mean, I just want to understand, do you mean banks would keep, like how gold is?
Yes.
They would keep it in their vaults and issue paper money based on that?
Yes. I think that is
Interesting.
what he means. Or even if he doesn't mean that, he would mean probably he just means that. Like as in you will use Bitcoin ETFs instead of using Bitcoin.
ETFs or eCash? Because eCash is
More or less the same thing, yes. ETFs or eCash or whatever whatever they call it at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of stupid. Now you go back to hard currency. Like the whole push for digital currency and going back to hard currency seems unlikely. I think there'll be a window where we can capture, Bitcoin as the currency it wants to be. And we should be ready for when the governments are transitioning between the collapse to e-cash of Bitcoin or whatever.
I think it's already there. So eCash already exists as a technology, and people run mints. It might not be very hard for banks to just say, okay, we're using eCash. eCash is good.
Yeah.
Who needs
True.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's where the education aspect comes in. We need more people to use Bitcoin as Bitcoin and not its subsidiaries or derivatives.
I don't know. Even though like as I said right now, Bitcoin. There is a financial collapse and there is a move towards Bitcoin. But I do get Basanta's points. I think there are a lot of dumb people in this world who can be sold things, and they can definitely be sold eCash. And just because of authority, like just because an authority said so. It's not very far fetched. Even if but I do think that's still better. Like it's still better than the age that we're living in right now, where our money is just imaginary.
True.
It's still better than that, but yeah, it's not ideal. It's not what we would have wanted.
Some middle ground, but I think that window, if we play our cards right, we'll have a lot more people just using Bitcoin. Like the education, if it's ready and on point, and we actively seek the users, we can get more people hooked onto it before the authorities do it.
Yep.
What I'm hearing is that we finally need to stop saying that Bitcoin doesn't need a marketing department or doesn't have, we should build one.
I totally agree. Privacy tech as a whole needs a marketing department.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs to play their part. If you think you can play a part best in the marketing department, you should definitely do that. And everybody, it's permissionless, right? So nobody can stop you, or you don't need permission to just start marketing things,
Yep.
which is the best part. But yeah, it's a community. Everybody has to pick it up wherever they can.
So, just a little thing I want to share, like based on all the people that I meet, let's say in the events at Bitspace and all the whatever events and awareness events and stuff we do, we do. I do mention a lot of the times that all of this is permissionless. You can come and start building. You don't need to ask or wait someone to guide you. You know, you can just start. But all the people who have only experienced this authority thing in their life where they have to kind of ask, now that figure is also becoming AI, that they ask AI first that, hey, this is my life and this is the decision I'm under. Should I take it or should I not? So, some way or the other, they want someone to tell them what to do. So, I don't know how we'll face that point. That is like an education thing from a younger age. Because even if you tell them and show them that it's permissionless, they'll still be like, okay, uh, I'll come to you and I'll ask you what kind of things you want built and I will build them. And they're like, no, macha, that's not the point.
Yeah, but
You,
then they are not Bitcoin's marketing department, right? It's you. You are. Since you understand the permissionlessness of it and you understand the importance of it. It's there's a quote. I don't know. I don't know the exact quote, but I'll paraphrase it. It's like it is the it is the bad side of freedom is the responsibility that comes along with it. So,
come again, come again. It's the bad side of the freedom that comes with the responsibility.
no, yes. So you have freedom means you have responsibility that you have to
Yeah.
that then you have to take of having that freedom. So this is one of those responsibilities now, and so how I'll say is if let's say if you cause an accident or you murder somebody, but in court you prove that you were not of sound mind,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the court gives you a free pass,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you can actually prove that, like you're not of sound mind. But what does that mean? That if you are of sound mind, like if it means you have more responsibility to not murder someone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So it's the same thing. So since you are aware, since you already have this freedom, it's more responsibility on you to be able to if you take on that responsibility to spread it, then to spread it. But you can definitely take other responsibilities as well. It's permissionless. You can do whatever you want. That's the best part. That's the best part of it. Okay, coming to the next question is privacy. What do you think about privacy on the internet in 2050? I think we've already covered it a little bit, where you said it will be into two parts.
Yeah, it'll be more black or white.
You will know when you have privacy and when you don't.
Exactly, because either you side with like completely surveillance by the corporations, or you completely self-host. I feel like the middle ground will become desolate.
Yes, I agree. But I mean, right now, people think they have privacy when they don't. I think it will be hard. It will be harder to justify that. Like, people think they have privacy if they are on Apple devices,
Yes,
right? And it's because they trust them, and maybe sometimes Apple has, earned that trust.
yeah.
Yeah, but more and
I
more,
mean,
I don't think that's good. That's going to be the case.
so far, yeah. I mean, Apple has been doing things better than Microsoft, at least little bit. You have
Yes.
to give them credit where credit's due, but we still have to trust them in the future. Hopefully, they don't turn into another.
I think they've already started losing this trust. I mean, come on, what's it with the cameras on an airport and them doing the e-verification at the OS level? I think they have lost that trust already. But it's like,
It is like e-verifications happening to every OS, so I don't know whether we can blame Apple for it
no,
or
but they
not.
started it. They came it out like even without much
Oh.
regulations. Yes,
I see.
yes.
Yes, it is hard to trust a proprietary piece of software. I completely agree with that. But for a beginner, like I'm talking about complete noob, I would still say you don't want to tinker. I can't expect you to use Linux Mint. You're like even more not than that. It's better you choose an Apple device than an.
I don't know. I don't think I can deal with that. I mean, I would say if you don't want to tinker, then you don't deserve privacy in today's age. Uh, I mean, it's better to go into Apple knowing
Not to say that to your grandma.
yeah, I mean
Right.
that's fine. I mean it's still better to tell your grandma that hey, it's all right. You probably won't be able to do this, but then you're not going to get privacy. Instead of letting her feel that okay, maybe this is a better private solution, because I don't think that's a better private solution.
Yeah. On the defaults, I so far I can recommend whether to choose a Samsung Android or iPhone. I would still say go for the iPhone. But yes, you cannot discount graphene OS on a Pixel. Like that's the gold standard.
Or
I completely agree.
or a Motorola soon.
Yeah, Motorola, God save us. Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from, but I still won't be comfortable telling people that they are better off on an Apple device, because they're just not. I mean,
It's a minuscule difference between them. Like graphene OS is on another level, so we being used to that, we can't really.
it
I
is
understand why we can't recommend it like an Apple device over an Android, but that small difference is when you start that conversation, right? Hey,
I
there's something.
think say recommending Apple instead of Google would be like, whom do you want to spy on you, the US government or the big corporations? So, yeah, it's just that. I don't think it makes that much difference. It's still surveillance tech, even if
It is. It is. I completely agree. That small increase is still a good starting point for them. I feel like starting off by saying, hey, you're looking at a Samsung, it's better you go for iOS because so in the past this practice happened, or Microsoft this so things. It's a good starting off point.
No,
Even though
why I think it's not even a good starting off point is because I perhaps think that Apple is worse. Why? Because you have no clue. It's a complete black box. Your Apple device. So you have no clue what's going on in there at all. If they do make promises, which is good. They make promises that they're going to respect your privacy, but you have no way of verifying. While on Android, you do have some way of verifying. You can shut off your Google Play services if you don't want to. You still have a lot more control over your device if that is what you want. With Apple, you are getting the promise, but you have no way of verifying whether that promise is being actually kept. Which
Yeah,
is my concern.
it's a case by case basis. It's like, well, who are we recommending to? Someone who would value the freedom of Android, or just want something that works, like a dumb phone, which is Apple, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that is true, but just in case of privacy, I don't know if Apple is much more private if you want it to be. Any case, we were talking about 2050. What's your take? Well, your take is that it's going to be desolate. There's no middle ground, and I agree. I really think people won't. I really wish people to stop equating Apple with private because it's not, or any not just singling out Apple, any closed source technology for that matter. I just hope people stop using it. Which brings me to another question: what do you think of open source? Like, will open source prevail?
Yes. Monetarily, I don't know. I can't really say it will, but usage-wise, I think yes.
What do you think, Paper?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the most confident I am about all of the other things that we've discussed. I think the most confident I am is about open source prevailing, because I think that's just where, like, open source is equal to trust is the thing that we are forming now culturally. I think we've reached that level where we have started equating open source with trust. As in, if it's not open source, it's not safe. Or actually, reverse of open source. Like, if it's closed source, you should not trust it. I think that's what we have started equating with. And monetarily, I don't think open source it would be anything different. I think just normal corporations would start giving you more open source technology. I think it won't make that much of a difference. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard to monetize open source. I think that is a challenge every project is facing.
I don't know. I think people take it in a different way. As in, Proton is monetizable while most of its tech is open source.
True.
Yes. I don't think that is really the case. I think it's just that the people that are most money minded are very protective of their technologies as well, which is why they don't open source yet. But I think you can still be open source and still have a money minded attitude, which is what will help, which will premium open source things. Last question, that I'll throw it off: the state of encryption, end-to-end encryption, where you own your keys in 2050. Do you think it's the default?
Yeah, I think the people are going to self-host more and all that. Now those guys are going to take end-to-end encryption seriously, do it themselves, make sure it works. The corporations on their side will protect it more within themselves. The governments are already protecting their encryptions. So that will always be strengthened.
I really want to hear this from Paper. What do you think?
Come again. There's construction going on above my head, so.
Sorry. The state of end-to-end encryption in 2050. What do you think? Do you think like it will be more people will own their own private keys and stuff, or self-host?
It will be very advanced. Yes, like you will be able to do more, but I don't think it will be mainstream adoption at that time. It would be even more restricted, I think.
It will be more advanced, but even more restricted.
Yes.
Okay.
Restricted.
You don't see it catching on.
No, catching on, but not mainstream because there will be so many restrictions around it from, like,
The government.
I think government, or I don't know, like their authoritarian parties, let's say, whatever. There, because of these end-to-end encryption and everything that we are moving towards, there will be cases where, again, something like there will be one instance where because of end-to-end encryption, something goes really bad. Okay, and then it will cause a ruckus that no, they should be regulated, they should be restricted. How do people have so much free access?
No. So first of all, I don't think it will be because of end-to-end encryption. End-to-end encryption will be a tool that they can use to do those things. But like end-to-end encryption is a very defensive technology. You can't, make bombs with end-to-end encryption.
Mm-hmm.
You make bombs because of other
Share plans
Yes.
of how to make bombs.
Yes, and that's already happening. I mean, I don't think that's not happening. Even the bombing in Delhi happened with communications on Signal and Telegram and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I'm sure governments can try to use that as an excuse, but even if they try to use that as an excuse, I don't think they can do anything about it. Which is why I have more hope that it will be more common, and which is why I have more hope that people will start people would know how to self host their own keys and protect their own keys and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there will be solutions again that will help you easily self-host stuff instead of you having to go through all the maneuver.
Yep.
Or you'll just get your AI agent. What I do. But yeah, it will be it will be in way more people's hands. But I still think it wouldn't be as mainstream as we would want it to be.
Hmm. I would definitely hope that's not the case. I would hope it's very
Yeah.
mainstream by then. Uh, cool. That's all of the questions that I had. I would now like to go to the ending notes. Anything you want to share? Let's start with Madkilla. Like, how do you want to end this?
Please try out open source software. Word listen.
What do you, any recommendations?
For
Use
this,
Capture.
I have a very particular question. I just bought a second-hand phone to make it into a sovereign kind of sovereign stack kind of thing where I will be using all my Nostr, Bitcoin related stuff with that phone. So leave Bitcoin aside. If someone wants to try this out, if they get a new phone just for a burner phone to experiment with open source technology and have like a sovereign identity, what are the first 2, 3, or 5 steps you would give them? Do both so that I can also start doing that. I so far I've just not changed the OS yet. I have disabled all the Google services that are available. F-Droid is installed, and I'm setting up other things with Optimium and stuff.
You can use App Store instead of Optanium.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've done all three. I did not know most of them, so I have F-Droid, I have Zap Store, and I have Optimium or Optimium.
Yeah, let me go through this checklist. First, see if Lineage OS or something is compatible. I'm assuming you have Samsung.
Yeah, Samsung. So this thing, I think it said that bootloader is not properly unlocked, and if I try to break in, it might damage the device. So
I think there is a website that takes your exact model number and tells you whether
Right.
you can do it safely.
what is the website?
I don't know. I will give it to you after
Yeah.
after.
Anyways, yeah, the first a few basic steps that someone should do if they're getting a phone and they want to try this.
Yes, if you do not sign into a Google account,
Yes.
first thing,
Mhm.
like you can skip anything that in the setup that says Google can do this, that just
Yeah.
ignore that. Then once you get in, disable play service. Don't disable play services. You need it for location sharing and stuff if that's important to you. But remove the permissions that play services has to limit it. Certain like calls and stuff it does not need. And use alternate app stores. You're not signed into Google, use F-Droid, use App Store, use Optanium. All these work. And another level of overkill is setting up a firewall. So block Google related telemetry altogether. So if you use NextDNS or any other firewall, you can block any traffic that goes to Google externally from the firewall perspective, from the DNS level, just as another layer of protection.
Yeah, I think covers it all.
Yeah.
From my angle as well. This is perfect. If you just firewall all Google things and Meta things because they are also very obnoxious about these things.
Yes.
Uh,
Use Brave browser and all those regular things still apply.
Yep. So yep. Very good.
So yeah, I personally have disabled all the like services like no location, nothing is needed for this device. And then Yeah, one thing that was there, because it's so preloaded, it kept giving me like constant notifications every 5 seconds that enable it back, enable it back, enable it back, and then I turned off.
Disable notifications.
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
So yeah, then I'll try more stuff, and then I probably would want to document this out and put it out for other people also. Like, if you're getting this, you can try this out, try this out.
Yep. And send your model. I'll check if it's available for lineage. That's always an upgrade.
I'll send you there, sure.
Yeah, because if you have lineage, you don't have to do all these things manually. A lot of things you won't be able to do manually without lineage as well. But if you have lineage, that crap is already not there in the OS as well. So you're much more safe.
Cool.
And I think lineage also gives you alternates for location as well. So
Yeah, I think it has micro G.
yes. So
Yeah, there is all open maps also, I think. But
Yeah, OpenStreetMaps you can still install through F-Droid on your current device but yeah, it doesn't matter. I think lineage can handle location. That's complete.
done, perfect.
All right.
cool. Anything else you guys want to add? Should we wrap it up?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Abhay, Madkilla, and Paper wrapping up. Good conversation, guys. Had a lot of fun. We'll join you back soon. I wish Basanta could have worked out all his technical problems and been with us for longer. But yes, see you until next time. And maybe we host an IRL event next time.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm shutting
Thank you.
off the recording, stopping recording.